Good morning, everybody. Good morning. As you see in the title, I never leave out without doing a VI. Always do a VI. It's important. It's part of trucking. It's really important to do a VI. We just oil is good. Especially because next week we got the Blitz. So you just want to make sure everything is right? You just got to make sure everything is right. I always look at my belts, make sure they're not actually coming apart. Get down there and look at your brake pads. Make sure they're good. Make sure they're not cracked in any way, shape, or form. And the slack adjuster, make sure it's tight and 90% or 90 degree. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I know what I'm looking at, but you want to look at your steering. Make sure there's no play. It doesn't move around. It's more than just looking. You just gotta look, right? Making sure my coolant. See, the coolant is good. See, Woody put a new thing there, reservoir. I do this every morning, whether it's raining or not. It's hard to do though when it's dark. I'll look it over, but usually I wait until it's daylight, because you're gonna not see everything. Making sure everything is right. I don't want no surprises, you know. Oops, sorry about that. I don't want no surprises. DOT pulls me over. So when I do a VI and I show a VI, I'm really doing a VI. Making sure I'm looking underneath. See, you got your straps that go over your tanks and stuff. You want to make sure they're tight. You know, and today, the trucking, you have so many different things covering up so many different things. I remember I had an FLD, and it didn't have all the covers, so it made it easy to spot something. And some people, they like to put the lugs, the shiny stuff, and it's okay too, but it just makes it harder to see if you have any leaks or anything. You can see that clearly. That's dry. I don't know why I'm showing you guys this. I'm just thought I'd show you guys a little bit of a VI. I'm making sure, looking at all my hoses. See? I'm just doing a vehicle inspection. Is basically what I'm doing. Just same thing the DOT would do if he was out here looking. He's just seeing. Nice thing about super singles though, you can surely tell if one is getting low. And just making sure look at the ribs of your trailer, make sure they're not damaged. And more so, guys, a lot of people don't do this, but you got pop rivets, right? And then pop rivets, they're the job to hold the ribs up, and you don't want no missing pop rivets. Matter of fact, some shippers won't even get inside your trailer if you got missing pop rivets. It's a prime trailer. It's in good shape. But when I worked for Marquardt, this was a big thing. Anytime I got a new trailer, I'm always looking, because I never wanted any surprises. We picked up our load in Deeper, something like that, Wisconsin, up there by Green Bay. We're in Porter, Indiana now. Boy, did it rain hard last night. It rained hard. See, and I'm also making sure that my pins, you know. And another thing, we'll look at that when we go back up there. You know, you might get somebody play with your fifth wheel. Now, you know what we're gonna do? Because part of the VI, I wanted to check the oil. That's why I didn't have the truck running. But I think we should start the truck up and let's turn on some lights and some four-ways. Let's make sure we don't have no bulbs that aren't working. Watch out, guys. Truck is still nice and clean. I just gotta throw that trash away right there. But let's start up the truck. I want to check some lights. Check some lights here. Make sure we don't have no, because a burnout light is 3 points on a CSA score. So if you got 2 lights out, that's 6 points on a CSA score, right? Let's shut this so we can. Yeah. Just want to make sure all the lights are working. That's working. I stopped last night because I couldn't see my trailer lights, but because they're so far in that I couldn't tell looking in my mirror if I had the lights on or not. But they were on. I had to get out and just double check. Don't like going down the road no trailer lights. That's dangerous. And looky here, the lights out. So ABS is working on this trailer. We want to make sure, and also want to make sure that your license plate light is working. Because believe it or not, it's got to work. Our lights up there are working. Always do a VI. You're supposed to. That's the law. And besides, you don't want your family going down the road beside a big 80,000-pound vehicle that's about to come apart, right? That's a good way to get your family killed. I'm not really too worried about the trailer, but we still gotta look. I ain't worried about the truck neither, but still the same, he's gonna look, right? Light is working. I'll look at the comments when I'm done. I just wanted to show you guys, I do a vehicle inspection every day. Every day. And if there's something wrong with the truck, Woody is my boss. I have to let him know. I have to let him know. There ain't no ands or buts about it. I have to let him know. Making sure that there's nothing, because you can pick up a rock, you can throw it as you're traveling, right? So just making sure there ain't nothing. I don't want it to come back and bite me in the ass. What happened? Well, things happen out here. Lights. All right. I'll come back and I'll put the bumper up and everything. I need 2 hands for that. I can't do that with one. All right. Now, horns work. Everything works. All right, let me turn this monster around real quick. Yeah, I'll go out there and tie my bumper down here in a minute. I just wanted to remember next week is the Blitz. And even if you're a company driver, you are the captain of that ship. And if you were to tell whoever you're driving for, your company or whatever, there's something wrong with the truck, it ain't them to question you. It's them to say, okay, let's have it looked at. Let's make sure it's right. Because who's going to get the ticket for that? Well, it falls on two laps. One, the company will get a ticket, but so will the driver. And we have the CSA score now. So you're going to get points. And the points will last longer on your CSA score than they will on the company. I think it's what? Let's see if I get this right. I hope I can get this right. What is it? It's 3 years, I think, a company has to keep them, and it's 5 or something like that for the drive, or it's either that or a year for the company. But the points stay longer on you. And another thing, if you have a good CSA score and you got a good driving record, that works for you. So whenever you go to a new company, they're going to look at all that. Now you got some bargaining that you could do with the company. Back in the day when I first started, we didn't have that. They had the questions, and if you didn't like it, you know, they didn't care if you went anywhere else. But now you got the bargaining, because if you got a high CSA score and you bring that over to that company, you just gave them points for you not being a good driver. So they don't want to bring them points. But if you got 0 points on a CSA score, that looks good toward that company. Now you got some bargaining, you know. And then you can ask, well, how often can I go home? How much do I get paid per mile? And if it doesn't sound good to you, if whatever you're asking them doesn't sound good to you, then you have a choice. You can either go ahead and go with that company, or you can say, you know what, I'm going to keep looking. The idea is to do your homework. People are nervous. I went inside a truck stop. They're nervous about next week. Oh, we got, you know what? If you get inspected, you get inspected. If you pass the inspection, that's going to go good for you and your company. And they're going to put a sticker on your truck, and that sticker is going to show that you've been inspected and you passed inspection. And you're only going to probably get inspected one time, and that's that. But if you pull into that scale and you're not right, your tires aren't right, your brakes aren't right, make sure your brakes are right. You got 5 axles, you should have 10 set of brakes. And what I mean by that, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the other side. You want to make sure all them brakes are set right. If they're not, get your truck into a shop and tell them, I got to get these brakes looked at. I think they're looking at, last year it was cargo securement. That's what they were looking at. This year they're looking at the steering opponents, or the components up there. They're looking at your steering components. They're just making sure all that is right. So you know, get out there and kind of see if you can move that. Do your, now this takes 2. It's nice if you can get somebody to help you, but you start your truck, kind of shake your wheel a little bit, see if that wheel is going to turn. Also, if you have, well, you have what you call kingpins on the front of a truck, but you want to make sure they're not loose, they're tight, right? I've been driving since and only been inspected once. You know, I don't think I've every time we had a Blitz, I either, because I've been lucky, or but I haven't been inspected. But it could happen, you know. You just got to make sure everything is right, you know. And more so when you go in and you get inspected, don't go in there like you know, you say yes sir, yes ma'am. You give, because the officer is out there to do one thing, and that's to make sure your truck is safe. You're safe. You're legal. If you have a suspended CDL, if you're whatever, they're going to fine you. And if they fine you, they're going to yank you out of that truck. And ain't that what we want? We don't want no cowboys out here driving around. And how many times I can show this. Every now and then a truck will go down the road and he's got a flat. You know, you get on the CB and say, hey driver, you know you got a flat. You don't get no response. He keeps going. Or it's nighttime, you have a trailer that goes, or a truck that goes by you and he has no lights. You know, and you're trying to tell him, Hey driver, you have no lights, there's no response. You know, them are the people that they're trying to get off the road. Them are the people that we don't need to be on the road. We are professionals. We're considered professionals. We must be professionals. And that's why when there's an accident, I hear people say all the time, well, it's always the truck driver's fault. It's always going to be the truck driver's fault. Unfortunately, in the land of the free here, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But because they put you on a higher standard of a professional driver, it will be your fault until they find out that it's not. And you know, the one thing that they're going to come after you to make sure this, before you're innocent, they're going to look at your logbook. Don't cheat the system. Don't cheat the system. I tell people this all the time. If you cheat the system and you think you're going to get away with it, eventually you're not. And all that's going to do is, I mean, I value my CDL. There is nobody or a company in any fashion that is going to tell me I have to break the law. And I beware if you think you can get away with that, because you know me. Trucker Jukebox will record everything and anything. I will do whatever it takes to protect my job. That's the idea. I love my CDL. I love my career. And I'm not going to have nobody take that away from me. You are the captain of your seat. It's up to you how you're going to run your truck. It's up to you how you're going to do your VIs. It's up to you how you're going to do your job. If you're going to be a cowboy, you know, just all I'm saying is eventually you're going to get caught. You know, and some people would probably disagree, but you know, 25 years come this December this year will make 26 years of driving. I don't know everything, but I've seen some people get inspected. You know, I always have my dash cam running. We have one in here too. We definitely have one in here too, and that's another good reason to have a dash cam. I have gotten pulled over because I was accused for running a scale house, and what it was, I was on 20 in Iowa, and if you guys know where I'm talking about, I don't know exactly what exit that is, but you have to exit off the road and you have to go to the scale house, and then when you get done you get back on 20 and take off. Well, I did that. I went into the scale house and everything. I got on 20 and I'm hammering down about a mile. I get pulled over by Iowa, and he started chewing on my ass, saying, why did I not stop at that scale? And I said, I did stop at that scale. He said, we didn't see your truck in there. I said, I have it on the dash cam. I'd be more than happy to show you. I had to show him. He saw that I actually got off, and he said, you know what? You're smart, because that dash cam just saved your ass, because that was the proof that I actually got off and went in there. So there's a good reason why it's good to have a dash cam, because it will back you up 100%. Well, the company's got their own dash cam, but I got my own dash cam as well, because I know how to get the file off of it. I know how to get it into my computer. So it's just, I got 2 dash cams. Ain't that crazy? But it's smart. If you drive commercially, if you drive a commercial vehicle, it's your word against their word. The dash cam will literally back you up 100%, and it's not going to lie. Same with the electronic logbook. It's good to have. You know, there's a lot of people that get mad about the electronic log. I hate the electronic log. I hate the electronic. That thing's not going to lie. It's not going to lie. One, if you are assigned to that truck and you are driving that truck, you have to be logged into that computer. And if you're logged into that computer, it's fed through the ECU components of that truck. So it knows if you're driving, it knows if you're stopping, it knows what you're doing. But if you drive that truck and you're thinking, well, I'm just going to log off. Well, first of all, if you're 300, 400, 500 or 1,000 miles from your terminal, and let's say you're taking a 10-hour break, and in the middle of that 10-hour break you're asked, hey, can you do us a favor? And if you think in your head that you can literally log off that computer and not show and go do that trip, you know, the computer is still going to show that the truck was driving. Okay, if you're in the middle of that 10-hour break and now the truck is rolling and you're going to tell the DOT, well, I wasn't driving the truck, Well, who in the hell was driving the truck? You're parked at a rest area? You're parked at a truck stop? So what you're saying is you got out of bed, you got out of your truck, you went inside to watch TV, and you gave the keys to somebody and say, you drive my truck and do this run, and come back and get me, right? That's just insane, you know? But if you're going to drive your truck, you have to be logged, because you got to show everything you're doing. But that will protect you too. You know, that will protect you too. There's no, I mean, that's what I like about the logbook. And two, it stopped the companies from, I remember back in the day, I drove for a company out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And that was before the 11 and the 14-hour rule ever came in, okay? And you give them a hard day's work. You drive 10 hours, you're done for today, right? And I would get this message on my Qualcomm: why are you stopping? You got a delivery tomorrow. I stopping because I did my 10 hours. Well, we don't have time to stop. You got to keep going. And I'm not kidding. That's the way it was back then. You can't stop. You got to keep going. And you say, well, I can't go nowhere. I'm out of hours. Well, you know, if you can't do the job, we get somebody else to drive that truck for you. See, and they used to use that threatening. And if you were a new driver, you didn't want to lose your job. So what would you do? Drivers carried 2 logbooks. One logbook was actually what they did, and the other logbook was to lie to the DOT. And you was okay with it as long as you didn't accidentally bring up 2 logbooks. Driver, I need your logbook. Which one? Which one? How many logbooks you got? You know? But I love the electronic log, because that makes it now, the shipper or your company can't make you do something illegal now. They can't. And if they try, there is a phone number you can call, and you can report them. And if they fire you because you're reporting them to do unsafe, they're in trouble. They're definitely in trouble. That's a good way. Companies have actually lost their authority, their running authority. And I got John in trouble. You remember Marquardt, John Rose? I got him in trouble. I really got him in trouble, and come to find out 3 other people turned him in. And he got in trouble. He got fined big time. And he's on probation, so if he messes up, even if Marquardt wants to keep him, it's not up to Marquardt. If DOT takes his right to be able to dispatch or anything, well, you know, that's who's going to take it away. But make sure you do your vehicle inspections every day. You know, don't just get behind your, just don't get off your bed and jump behind your wheel and go down the road thinking everything is going to be fine, because your truck is your horse. Your truck is your money. That truck is running every day. The engine is running. You remember Willie Sanders back? I do remember them. Yes, I do remember them. But just make sure that you get out, look over your truck, because if you miss something, here's the funny thing about it. And this happened to a guy that I knew. He had a missing mud flap, just a missing mud flap, and it was on the trailer. It wasn't there. And he just started out his day. He just got him a cup of coffee, just got on the road, and just started out, right? And he gets pulled over. And what got him pulled over was that missing mud flap. He got a state cop behind him, saw the missing mud flap, so he turned on his lights and pulled him over. Now the driver, he's scratching his head. Why am I getting pulled over? I can't be speeding. I'm just taking off. The cop asked him, did you do a vehicle inspection this morning? Yeah. That's what the driver said. Yeah, I did my VI. He said, are you sure? He said, because if you're lying to me, it's going to hurt you a whole lot worse than if you just come out and tell me that you didn't. The driver thought everything was fine. Why would he ask me if I did a VI? And he lied to him. He said, yeah, I did a VI. He said, you didn't do it very well. He said, why? He said, because you have a missing mud flap on your trailer. You can't miss that. That's why you saw me get up underneath there. I'm making sure the mud flaps are there, right? They're there. I got all the mud flaps on the truck. So Make sure the lights are working. Because if you get a state cop behind you, I'm going to shut this down. If you get a state cop behind you and you don't have brake lights, you don't have turn signals, you don't have tail lights, you don't have any of that, that's a sure giveaway. That's a sure giveaway that you didn't do a VI. So, I mean, he's going to stop you, and he's probably going to ask you, did you do a VI this morning? So, I guess the subject of this video is, don't get caught with your pants down. Don't be afraid to say there's something wrong with my truck. Just come right out and say, because, you know, even if your boss, even if your company gets pissed off at you because now you can't run, you got to stop and get it fixed, you're protecting yourself. And if he wants to fire or she wants to fire you because you're doing your job, then you should go look for another job. I'm going to hold that. I was going to shut that down. But then you should go look for another job. Well, that's an old saying that you don't want to get caught with your pants down. You don't want to, don't play dumb with the DOT. If they ask you a question, if you didn't do a VI, simply, because I'll be honest with you, if it's 2 in the morning, it's pouring down rain, I can't see crap. I don't care how hard I look. Did I do a VI when I took off? No, I did not. Why? Because I can't see nothing. It's raining really hard. I cannot see nothing. But as soon as that sun comes up and I'm going to get out and do my VI. Good morning, guys. I'm not ignoring you guys. I just wanted to do this little thing here, and dirty and bad look truck sticks out like a sword. And that's another thing. It's a good idea to wash your truck, and it's a good idea to wash your trailer. If it looks like it never been washed, more likely it's probably never been looked at. You look at certain things and you can tell if a truck has been serviced. You really can. You can tell if it's been neglected. You can tell because why? We're professional truck drivers. We driven trucks before. We know what things should look like if they've been serviced. And we also know when, so yeah, you want to wash your truck. You give it a bath every now and then. That shows pride in your ride, and DOT is going to see that. Oh, well, he's got a clean truck, and maybe he does care about his ride. And I don't know about some of you guys, but not only when I wash my truck and I have the body washed, the Blue Beacon actually offers 2 things. One, you can get your engine washed. That's not a bad idea. Get the grease and the oils and stuff off your engine. And 2, they got now the underneath wash. So you can wash all the things. Because I'm going to tell you what DOT is also going to look for. And that's if you got oil leaks. If you got oil leaks, if your truck is leaking oil, they're going to see that. They don't want that truck on the road. They don't want that oil on the highway. You guys ever driven on a wet highway? In the summertime, it's slicker than wintertime driving on ice because you got all that oil and stuff on the road. Now you got the water. You're going to slide around. I carry an old spare mud flap and a heavy duty zip tie. I used to carry a mud flap myself. I don't carry anything extra. But a mud flap isn't, okay, the boats and all that, but really in all reality, you can go in and buy you a mud flap. And normally you're going to have to get the new boats and washers and all of that, because the other one's probably been on for a while, and all the rain and all the rust and everything that's on there is going to cause it. You're probably going to break them nuts trying to get them off. So you want to get the new nuts, but it only takes, you get a pair of vice grips, a couple pair of vice grips and a good wrench, and you can twist them things off, bust them off, throw that mud flap away, put the new mud flap, sorry guys, foam is getting hot on me. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to stop talking before my phone goes down again. It just got warm, so it automatically stopped doing its thing. So, but anyway, thank you for watching. We're going to get out of here. We got to go to work. Until the next time, you guys be good. Later.